What's up? This is the 15th live stream that we've done. 15 Saturdays in a row. I've been here, you've been here. It's been a good time. Sean Murphy, hello. Hello. Thanks for the kind words on the video earlier. And checking it out in the first place. Joshua Coe's in here. What's up, man? Mix in here. What's up, guys and gals, if there's any gals? Hopefully everyone's having a great day. I know I'm having a good day. What else is news? There's a lot of stuff happening in the world. I don't really pay much attention to the news. The news, a little bit depressing. Joshua Coe, sorry for the other day. What would you be sorry about? The entire new Whitechapel album is a straight up banger. I've heard nothing but good. Nothing but good. I've only heard the 2 songs so far that I've done videos for off that album, but those are good, and I've heard nothing but good about the rest, so probably check them out at some point. Also, the new Periphery is released, officially released. It got leaked, so they kind of put their whole rest of the album out anyways, just so that people could come to them to see this stuff instead of who leaked it. But I'm pretty excited to check out the rest of the Periphery album. I think they just released a playthrough of a song called Reptile, if I remember right. Are you going to be reacting to the rest of the new Periphery album? I probably won't do all the songs, just because that's a lot of Periphery. I try not to flood out too many videos of the same band in the same little time frame, but I'll probably do another one. And yeah, Periphery is one of my favorites, and the couple that I've heard from the album sound really, really good. And I'm pretty excited to check out the rest. Saw the strange messages I sent you. Was kind of embarrassed, but you were really kind about it. I don't know what strange messages you're talking about. Are you talking about like the Facebook stuff? Because that's totally fine. I've had other people add me on my actual personal Facebook, and like, just as a disclaimer, I'll just say it out here. I will not be adding anybody at all to my personal Facebook. That's like, I don't hardly even add people like that I actually know in my personal life. I don't really add that many people anyways. But I put like actual personal stuff on there. I have a lot of stuff from my kids, and that's basically just for my family. So I am going to be, though, making a Facebook page like an actual. I had one before, but I just deleted it. For Alone Above Earth, I'll make a Facebook page for the community. That way, the people who are on Facebook and would rather connect that way, we can do that through Facebook, and like I can also share the videos through Facebook that way, and have people coming to the page and all that stuff. So if you would like to connect with me on Facebook, I will be announcing whenever that Facebook is actually up and ready. The old one I had, I never really posted anything on it, and I made it in like 2014. So Reptile is 16 minutes and 45 seconds long, so you're in for a ride. I saw that. I watched the behind the scenes, or like the recording making of their album thing on YouTube, which was really, really cool, by the way. Periphery. If you don't know and you're a fan of Periphery, they released like almost like a little documentary of their album recording. And it's really, really cool. Gives a lot of good insight and into their mind, and like the way they went about doing this, and you get like a sneak peek of the behind the scenes stuff. I'm really into that, being a recording guy and all that. I don't know how many people are into that side of things, but it was really cool. Really cool to see. During your reaction, I sent you a bunch of gibberish. Yeah, you were saying something about seizure. I figured that's what had happened. You gotta be careful, dude. Don't want you to hurt yourself. Cleve Bodum's in here. Thanks for joining, man. How about a live reaction to one of the new songs? I don't want to do reactions in my live streams, basically because they get copyrighted like every single time. So my live streams are kind of like me talking, hanging out. I play through some of my music if you guys want me to, my original stuff and all that. So maybe one of these days I've talked about doing like a dedicated like a live reaction, but I'm not going to do that on this one. Below Average Hikers in here. I agree. He did a great job on the cover. Very, very good. Very good. Apparently, children are getting in trouble out there, and everyone in my house decides to yell all at the same time. If you guys haven't checked it out, earlier this morning I released an acoustic cover song. We did One More Light by Linkin Park. If you haven't checked that out yet, you definitely should. I'm very, very proud of that. Have you learned to play any new songs lately? Not really. One More Light and Snuff by Slipknot. We also recorded that. That'll be coming out pretty soon. Basically just working on those. That's why I didn't put out very many videos this week. I spent over 100 hours editing that. Between editing the audio and editing the video and filming it and all that. Over 100 hours for a 3-minute long song. People underestimate the amount of time that it takes to put out quality things, I think. Sean Murphy, Below Average Hiker, that was fantastic work on the cover. You guys nailed it, especially the emotional weight of the song. That's awesome to hear. Dang it. I hate using this phone for the live streams. It's always like searching for, like right there. It's always searching for autofocus and stuff. This guy Brian did all the hard work. Don't sell yourself short, Jesse. Your vocals are smooth. I really like the things that separated our version versus the original version, like adding in all the harmonies, which was all Jesse. And also, as a disclaimer, there was no pitch correction. That not everything is completely 100% pitch perfect in this song, and it wasn't meant to be. I feel like if that was actually, if I had actually pitch corrected the vocals and stuff, it would have taken the feeling away a little bit on this sort of thing, and capturing that like shakiness in his voice and like the weight of it was like what made it so good, or one of the things that made it so good. I really, really, really like the way that it turned out. I've probably watched through it and listened through that probably 1,000 times, and that's probably not exaggerating. Between writing it, recording it, recording Jesse doing the vocals over the top of it, filming him singing it, and then filming myself playing through it, and then editing through all the footage and all of that. And then I've probably watched it 100 times on YouTube myself. Have been in any bands or any kinds of projects? Like to know? Are you asking me if I've like been in any bands? Because I have. Whenever I was younger, I made a band. Whenever I was in like high school or junior high, I made a band back then. We weren't good, but it was fun, and I got some experience playing shows. Then I got into high school. I made a different band, and I wrote pretty much exactly what I do now. I wrote all the music. The only difference was that I had other people playing with me, and I taught them what I wrote, and then we would go play shows all over the place. That's how I actually met Jesse, because he was the vocalist for another group, some of my other friends around here, and we would play shows together and saw each other and met each other. And then that band, we weren't really going anywhere. I was doing everything anyways, so I actually bought the drummer's drum set, and I just started literally doing everything myself. I wrote some songs, and I took them to a studio a couple hours away from here, and recorded the drums. Me actually playing the drums, the bass guitar, and the guitars, and then I had Jesse come in to do the vocals, and those are some of the songs that I always play through in the live streams. And that was like 6 or 7 years ago, and pretty much just been working on my own stuff. Yeah, I mean, so I guess as far as being in a project, I'm basically in my own project, which I think is the coolest. The coolest. Are you excited for Avengers Endgame? Hell yes, I am. I'll probably go watch that. Probably not whenever it comes out because there's always a shitload of people there. And like I live in a pretty small town. So whenever a really big movie like that comes out, it's like every teenager in this town and any of the surrounding small towns comes to this theater to watch. And yeah, it's not a good time if you're actually trying to pay attention to a movie. So I usually wait, which just sucks for me having to wait. The only one that I actually go to the night of release is Star Wars. I've went to every single Star Wars on the opening day since I was alive, starting with episode 1. So me and my brother, my older brother, we go to every Star Wars on opening night. That's like our thing. But I'll probably go watch it the weekend after it comes out. And I'm really, really excited. The Marvel movie franchise has completely, like, I really like DC, but their movies have far surpassed in terms of like tying everything in and like building a whole world, universe, all that. And I'm excited to see what they're going to do with this. How they're going to tie everything in and make it kind of an end of a little chapter of what they're doing. I agree. It's nice to be independent. Yes. Yes, it is. Wife is selling all our stuff at the swap meet today to help with our move. Just 4 days away. Dang. That's close, man. Moving your life halfway across the country. Hopefully everything goes well with selling stuff and moving. Below average hiker. Gotta head out, but thanks to everyone supporting my bro here. He's a great guy and ridiculously talented. Thanks, Jesse. Say the same about you. I actually did say the same about you. Someone commented and said you had a good voice, and I said he's a good singer, and he's an even better dude. I appreciate you being on there as well, and here. What interface do you use to run your guitar through the computer? Is it a Focusrite? Is the Focusrite Scarlett? Okay. I use a PreSonus audio box. It's like real cheap, and like I got the audio box in a bundle with the microphone. It came, I can't remember. It was whenever I very first got into recording, like recording myself. I've always recorded myself, but whenever I was younger, I still lived with my parents. Like I'm talking about younger, like 10, and then like through my teenage years. What I used actually was like an old shitty webcam microphone, and I would put that on my amp and record it that way. And I actually used my keyboard, not as a MIDI keyboard, but I plugged it in and used the drums on the actual keyboard and just hooked it line in. And I got real good at like playing drums on a keyboard, which is pretty cool. And yeah, so it's a PreSonus audio box. It only has 2 channel input, but that's what I use. It works completely fine. I think I'm gonna have to upgrade pretty soon though, because whenever we started recording vocals for Jesse, one of the line inputs were kind of crackly a little bit, and had to kind of finagle it a little bit to get it to work correctly. So I think I'm gonna have to upgrade that, which is, I mean, I've had that thing and put it through a lot of use. So, dude, are you sick? Yeah, pretty much. I was getting over being sick, and then my nose is just like keeps clogging up. My tonsils are all swollen real bad in my throat. It's not a good time over here. Got a job interview lined up and we've applied to some apartments. Nice. Hopefully everything goes good. Moving. I've only moved like across town and it sucked. So I can't imagine moving across the country. It's no longer freezing here in Minnesota. It's currently 50 degrees Fahrenheit. So not too shabby. Nice. It's almost 60 here today. So whenever we get done with the live stream here, I'm going to take the kids out, go for a bike ride, all that stuff. I bought my technically not stepdaughter, but stepdaughter, a new bike yesterday. I bought her a brand new bike. I promised her this year that I would buy her one. And we found a bike. I don't know if it was incorrectly priced or not, but we got it for that price. Brand new bike and everything for $35 at the store. I think it was probably priced incorrectly or something. But I took the employee back there. We checked the price that it said and everything, and that's what we did. So got her a brand new bike because she outgrew the old one. Brand new bike for $35. What tuning do you usually stick to if you tend to stay with a certain tuning for guitar? My go-to tuning is drop A, which is basically a 7-string tuning but I do it on a 6-string guitar. And I actually have a 7-string set of strings on my guitar to keep the tension good. And I just drop off the high E string. But that's what I'm gonna tune to for my upcoming music and all that. I might drop it down to drop G in a couple songs because a couple of them it just makes it hit so much heavier. So I normally stick to drop A though, and then I also have another guitar. It's this exact same guitar, only in red instead of black. The black one's my main go-to guitar. But I have a... What are you doing?
I'm looking for something, right? I need a gum thing. He's got a big blister on his toe. And I can't find anything sharp enough to pop it.
Well, they're probably on the floor where you left them. Right underneath where your feet are. Put some Rice Krispies in it. Snap, crackle, pop. Josh always with the dad jokes over there. Great video today. Thank you. Thanks for watching it. Open C for me. I'm really into Devin Townsend. That's what I was about to say before she popped in here. I have the red guitar that I keep in drop C, which I like that tuning as well.
Daddy!
Go.
My skin is starting to fall off.
What? Your skin's starting to fall off.
Yeah.
You're gonna have no skin pretty soon.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Come here, baby. No.
You got a blister?
No. My skin.
Oh, yep.
My skin was starting to fall all the way off.
Your skin's starting to fall all the way off.
All right, let's go.
You're gonna be just a stick pretty soon. Bones. children. His skin's falling all the way off, apparently. If you enjoy the female-led bands, you should check out Frozen Crown. I don't think they're as established as Unleash the Archers. I don't like have a real preference for female or not female in terms of fronting a band. If they're good, they're good. All the ones I've checked out so far have been really good, though. I'm assuming that's why they're the most requested, because they're probably the best. Like Ginger and Unleash the Archers and Arch Enemy. Those are the only ones I've checked out so far. Besides Nightwish. I'm so tempted to buy the new... I never know how to pronounce that name. I think people said that in one of the live streams one day. Showed me how to pronounce that name, but I can't ever remember. My memory is horrible. But we need the money. Yeah. Save your money. If you're moving, I would say save the money. Yeah, you got to have some sort of priority list. Your money's got to be up there in terms of what you need to get first. Dramatic. Yeah. Children are dramatic by nature. Very, very dramatic. I'm gonna type in I never used my actual computer for the live stream, but that's the only way that I can actually comment something while I'm on here. So I'm gonna comment something and pin it about the video earlier. So if anybody can you not pin a comment? No? I thought you could pin comments. What the hell? I'll just remove that comment then. Sean Townsend has a dozen piano covers of Kill Switch Engage. Nice. I really like piano covers of songs. Piano is one of those instruments where I would like to play it more, and I just never have gotten. I've never gotten enough time to just sit down and like really, really practice for a long time and get real good at it. But I would like to. I'll have to try to remember that. Sean Townsend. Kill Switch Engage will be one of the upcoming covers, by the way. Something by Kill Switch. I was listening through some of their songs last night, trying to figure out one that I wanted to cover for sure. And I think instead of going lighter with it. I might do one lighter, like acoustic or something. But I think I'm gonna do one of their songs like My Curse, you know, one of those real good ones, and make it like heavy, like heavier, I guess I should say. Like do one of the things like if it was made today, what it might sound like by like a modern metal band. Also, Killswitch Engage are finishing up a new album right now, which is really really exciting. They've been like consistently one of my favorite bands forever. The thumbnail of the close up of the eyes looks like a certain scene from Doctor Who. Those are my eyes, by the way. I always do, man, shit in my throat. I always do the same sort of thing with for the thumbnails for this, because whenever you start a live stream on here, it says like you go to where you're about to go live, and it says take a thumbnail, and then it starts counting down 3, 2, 1, and then it takes a picture of whatever is in front of the camera. So I always just hold it out real quick and like, and so all the thumbnails always look the same. So what I did was I scooted close to my little light here, took off the old glasses, and did this for the thumbnail of this video. So those are my eyes. But yes, I know what you're talking about. That I used to watch Doctor Who all the time. One of the things I liked a lot. I haven't watched the past couple seasons. Some really good atmospheric metal is a band called Frosttide. I think I've heard of them before. Heartache would be cool. Yeah, one of those songs that are like Killswitch's main go-to songs, which they have a lot of. What's up, big guy? What's up? Thanks for joining. Do you like Deftones? They're releasing a new album too. A lot of bands are. It's very exciting. Yes. I don't know Deftones. I have heard of them. I haven't listened to them. I think I've heard a couple songs by them a long time ago. I had a friend in high school. He was really into Tool and Deftones, and he would always try to get me to listen to them, but I never really did. Try some warm milk with honey for your throat. The problem with my throat is I should have had my tonsils taken out a long time ago whenever I was a kid. They wanted to take my tonsils out, and I was always too afraid to. And it gets worse as you get older, and it gets more painful to have the surgery done as you get older too. So I need to have that done because like every year, my tonsils swell up. Like right now, it's like out to here. And like it always feels like there's a bunch of crap in my throat. And if I get actually sick, like I've been sick for like the past week now, like I can't hardly breathe because my tonsils swell up and it like constricts my throat, and then my nose also gets it. So that's what I need more than anything, is just to get my tonsils taken out. You're just trying to avoid copyright poses are hilarious. Thanks. I need to do more of those. I want to do more. I try not to overdo them though. Unless it's like a real long song. That way they don't get like, I don't like to interrupt the song any more than I really need to, unless I have like something valuable to say. If that makes sense. But I do like doing those, and it's funny. You get to show a little bit of my actual, like my funny personality, or funny side of my personality in those. My Last Serenade has to be one of my favorite song by Killswitch. That's one of the ones I was looking at to possibly cover. I feel like the recording that they did way back then it's pretty dated as far as the guitar tone and the way that he was screaming, basically like destroying his voice. But he had like that raw energy to his voice. I think I think I think he could that would be a good one to do. Yo, tips for heavy squats. Uh Stretch. Make sure you're mobile. Um, work up to it. Make sure you have a good core foundation for doing squats. One of the biggest things that people don't really pay attention to as much, and when you're into weightlifting or bodybuilding, especially bodybuilding, is uh, like your IT band and stuff like that. It runs like right here on the side of your leg. Make sure that stuff's stretched out, and your anterior, I think it is, something in your leg. Your your quad is on the top of your leg and on the inside of your thigh. That muscle that runs right there, that helps a lot with squatting, and your hamstrings obviously do as well. Just make sure you're stretched out good and do it consistently. Drink enough water. I know that's cliche to say, but your body needs water. If it doesn't have water, it's not going to function correctly. Take your time. Don't hurt yourself. Have a spotter. All that. Whenever I was in high school, I weighed about 150 pounds. I was a little tiny stick. I could run really fast. That's what I did in high school. I ran track. I could run really fast. I could do all that, but I was tiny, really, really tiny. My arms looked like little teeny tiny little twigs. And I could squat. I was 150 pounds and I squatted 460 pounds. That's the most I ever did. Have you heard of a band called Ghost Brigade? Not that I know of. Speaking of atmospheric, I'm surprised I don't see enough channels reacting to Septic Flesh. Atmospheric, death, symphonic metal, sick drums, crazy orchestrations with majestic growls. I don't know if it's you or not, but they've been suggested several times. I know. I see. I thought it was a cold. Have a GERD. Runs in my family. Form first. I agree. There's for asking about squats. There's a dude on YouTube. His name's Omar Isuf. It's OMARISUF, I believe. He's very funny. Like he has a wacky sort of personality, but he's very good at like teaching and like getting the point across form wise and stuff like that. I would suggest checking him out if you haven't. Trivium re-recorded Pillars of Serpents from the first album, released a few weeks ago. Yeah, I saw that, but I don't know. I don't know the original version. Maybe I should do a video where I listen to the original version and the new version, and like talk about the differences or something. I thought about that. And then all these different bands have been dropping new stuff, so I've just been trying to keep up with that and failing. And then I've been working on a cover video. Have you thought about uploading a reaction commentary video on more songs off the Empath by Devin? I would like to see Sprite be one. I probably won't do any more from Devin. right now, anyways, because I've put out several my last several videos have been of him, and I've done probably 4 or 5 of him before. So I don't want to keep harping on the same group whenever there's millions out there to do. The last one was that like the drum playthrough of the dude who recorded it, so that was a little bit different, but it was still Devin's song. But do you do belted or beltless? I use a belt because my back is kind of jacked up, and I think if you're going to go heavy, you should probably have a belt. It just helps keep everything tight. I know there's a lot of people that go back and forth. I mean, look at all the top power lifters. They use belts. Obviously, there's something to that. So, not that you should base what you do off of what everybody else does, but I mean, if all the top strongest people in the world are doing it, and you want to get stronger, since you said heavy, uh, I would recommend a good belt. I went to I can't remember what the place is called. One of the sports stores. It's a little bit of a drive away, but we were there last year. I think it was. It was either last year or the year before, and I bought myself like a real heavy duty weightlifting belt, and I think that was a good investment. I just use a belt for squats or deadlifts. Devin said he sees colors when he hears sounds. I wonder if that makes a difference, because that band is a wall of sound. I watched a Q&A thing with Devin, I think it was last night, where he was saying he was giving his opinion on reaction videos. Someone asked him on a Q&A if his video for Genesis was like an attack on the reaction videos of YouTube, and he said that it wasn't, and that he sees he doesn't watch reaction videos to his own music just because he thinks it would be weird, but he basically tries to do things in a way where especially with this album, I think he said that it's like basically what you would see in a dream is what he wanted it to feel like, kind of. I don't remember exactly. I was tired last night whenever I watched it, but yes, I'm the one suggesting, and I'll do it again shamelessly.
Is your friend who likes him in there?
Huh?
Is your friend
No.
who... Oh, okay. Then I'm not going to let him make an appearance.
I want you to feel a grain of some same epicness that they have to offer. I'll probably get to them at some point. The only thing I don't like about people like just suggesting the same exact thing all the time is the people that they don't even pay attention to what you posted. They just, it's almost like they have them copied and paste, like copy it and just paste it into every single video that they come across. That gets annoying as shit. There's a couple people that do that. Like earlier, whenever I'd put that One More Light cover, there was someone that almost immediately commented on it. It hadn't even been enough time for them to watch the video. And for one, if you watch that video, you're obviously going to see that it's not a reaction video. And they commented it was some like death metal band. I was like, what the hell is the purpose of doing that? That's the one thing I would say. That's like the one downfall of doing reaction videos is people just comment, or a lot of people, like a lot of people that are in here don't do that, like because you guys are people who like actually support me. Yeah, that's why you're in a live stream talking to me. But the biggest majority of people just suggest or copy and paste without hesitation or thinking about the content or even watching the video, probably something they want to see you do. Sleep stream. Hey, what's up? Thanks for joining. Rebecca, the vocal coach, was brought to tears by Deadhead. Nice background. Thanks. Have you heard any strapping young lad by chance? Sorry, the last Devin comment. Yes, I did a video of, I think the song was called Love, like with a question mark. I think that's the title of the song I did, but I made a video on that. It was good, a lot heavier than the other stuff, or what I had heard from him at that point anyways. I love the people who comment that they love the video 30 seconds after it's uploaded. Yeah, that's the kind of person I'm talking about. I saw a gore grind band pop up on my feed, but their name is so long it breaks the character limit. Yeah, those are band names get a little bit absurd sometimes, just like everything else. Crazy lady screaming outside sounds like a wailing bird. That's what I hear all the time from my fiance. Where are you? I'm in my house. Where are you? This is where I film all my videos. Lights. Computers. It's blurry. This is where I film all my videos. My music room. Gojira of Blood and Salt featuring Devin Townsend. That's what. There's been a lot of comments for that as well. UK. I'm from the United States. I'm in the United States. When she says something, do you respond, you don't finance? Finesse? I don't know exactly what you're trying to say there. When she says something, I try not to respond. We've been together for 7 years. We pretty much pretend each other don't exist anymore. Unless something's needed. Fiance. I'm sure any of you guys that have been in a long relationship know the feeling. I mean, like, our relationship's good. Like, we're good, but just like, being in a house all the time with someone. That's why I have this room. This is a dedicated room. We have 3 kids in this house, and her and me, and 2 wild ass dogs. So this is my This is my space. I come in here. This is where I do my stuff. And they go out there. Countdown to Star Wars. I know there's only, I think isn't the celebration on the 10th? Is it like the 10th or 11th or something like that? Should be getting some new Star Wars news soon. Titles and first looks at it. I'm pretty excited. I'd love to be in a house all the time with someone. Go get you someone. Been with my wife since 2004, so yes, sir, I'm right there with you. That's a long time. In 2004, I was only 12 years old. Star Wars died for me with Han Solo. Oh, that's funny. I think that's one of the best things that they did was Harrison Ford didn't want to play that guy anymore. He didn't want to. And that was obvious from way a long time ago. And he even did interviews saying that he tried to convince George Lucas to kill Han Solo off. I thought that was awesome. Where I watched that in the theater, I was like, yes! You know, like those reaction videos on YouTube where they actually act like an idiot in front of the camera? That was me sitting in the theater, but it was a real reaction to that. Old Star Wars are the best. I don't agree, but I like them all. I don't. I'm not like whenever they decide to go in a little bit different direction, or like the Last Jedi. A lot of people hated it. I didn't like everything. I didn't like everything that they did, but that movie was good. Like I think it was good. Some of the some of the plot points I didn't agree. Like I'm not. I didn't agree. I just kind of hoped they went in a different direction, but they didn't. And I don't make Star Wars, so that's on them. I was entertained. I like what they did. The way that movie was shot was super super good. I think that's the best looking Star Wars movie ever. The cinematography, all the colors, everything was like perfect. I understand why some people didn't like it, and that's completely fine. Just like I don't get upset when people don't like exactly what I like or agree with my opinion. You guys should know that your opinion's your opinion, and that's completely fine. I know I can't believe we didn't get at least one more reunion with Han, Luke, and Leia. I think that the fact that they didn't do that, it kind of uh, gives a little bit more emotional weight to it, though. Like they didn't get to meet each other again, alive, anyways. Speaking of your posters in the background, I went and saw Shazam on the premiere. Have you seen it? I have not. I've heard good things about it, that it's pretty funny, but I haven't seen that. I've been waiting for the new Avengers movie. I don't have a whole bunch of money to just go blow on things so for me to go actually to the theater, it's got to be like a real good occasion, I guess. Katie calls it. Hey, what's up? Thanks for joining. Appreciate you being here. I don't mind when the old movies get redone with modern effects. Is that supposed to be I won't mind? because that would be awesome if they redid them. That probably won't happen for a long time though. Two of my favorite films, Frailty and The Lookout. I don't know those. One of my favorite movies ever has nothing to do with Star Wars or any sort of, can't speak, any sort of superhero movie is 7 Pounds. It's got Will Smith as the lead actor. Have any of you guys ever watched that movie? That's one of my favorite movies and has been for a long time. Nice facial hair. Thanks. I did not have any problems with the storyline, but there are lots of small details that were really stupid. Need to. Yes, it's emotional. The organ movie. That's not really, I guess, kind of. Yes, I think. I think that's the movie you're talking about. I don't want to say the plot of the movie in case no one has seen it and wants to now, because it's a really good movie. I would say that's probably my favorite movie that isn't a Star Wars or superhero movie. I watched that whenever it came out in the theater, and I was just like at the end, just like sitting there in the theater, like, holy shit. And Will Smith is a really good actor. Really good actor. I think, anyways. The range of things that he can really pull off and do well. Never seen 7 Pounds. I think I'll have to watch it as it appears to be on Netflix. I don't think it's on Netflix. If it's on Netflix, that's probably not the same movie. I'll have to double check, but the last time that I checked, it wasn't on there. I'm pretty sure. Just make sure it's called 7 Pounds, but it's Will Smith is the lead actor. There was another movie called 7 Pounds, but it wasn't that movie. Play any video games back in the day or present? I used to play uh, Call of Duty with my friends back in the day. Uh, Red Dead Redemption, I got that game. Red Dead Redemption 2. Now I play sometimes. I don't really play any games consistently because I never have really time to sit and play them. But if something really really cool comes out, like Red Dead Redemption 2, played it. So I guess yes and no, all at the same time. But I really liked playing, like, if you can get a group of people that I like, if I could get a group of people that I actually know to play like Call of Duty and stuff like that, I really like to play it. But if you're just playing against a bunch of random people that sit there and play it all day every day, I just get killed over and over and over again. So it doesn't really make that much fun out of it. But I do like to play. Not the best at it, but having fun trumps everything. Even if I'm getting blown up a bunch of times, if I have a group of people, group of friends playing on there, or do like a private match. One of my friends, we used to work overnights, and he actually lived in an apartment above me, and I didn't live here then, but he had an apartment straight above me, and we both worked overnights. So on our nights off, uh, we would play Call of Duty like all night long, and we were used to being up at night, and no one else was. So we would just sit there. He would be in the apartment above me, and I would, like, if I killed him, I would hear him like, "Damn it!" Like stomping on the floor. It was pretty funny. Those were good times back in the day. That was Actually, I wasn't even with my fiance then. I was with my ex-girlfriend. And so I had no kids, no nothing, and no responsibility really other than to have fun. Those were the days. My best friend draws Batman for DC. Nice. You got time to play? Are you talking about playing music or playing games? I don't really care much for horror movies, but I love thrillers. I just like movies if they're entertaining. It doesn't really matter. Just like with music, like that's how I try to be in all my life. Like if it's entertaining, I try not to, I obviously have personal preferences, but I don't like get overly scared or anything like that. So if a movie's good and it does scare me, then that's cool. Do I go searching out for movies, for horror movies? No. But what do you think about Loudwire? The YouTube channel, I think they're all right, I guess. They're, I mean, they report news and do interviews and stuff like that. I've watched some of their videos and learned some things about artists. I like the thing that they do where they have an artist and the Wikipedia fact or fiction. I'm pretty sure that's Loudwire. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's them. But those are cool. Like where they actually have the person sitting there and they go through the Wikipedia and they ask them questions and the person from the band tells them if it's true or not. I like that idea. I think that's a really cool idea too. Alex 4. Hello. What's up? Thanks for joining. Thrillers are also great. Snatch is a great movie. Halo was my game. I never really got into Halo. I think I came into playing games like right as Halo was kind of coming down a little bit and Call of Duty was like taking off everywhere. So I think that's and like everyone was playing Call of Duty then. So that's whenever I kind of just got into that. GTA 5. Yeah, Grand Theft Auto, that's like one of my favorite games. I don't even like really I did the storyline and all that, but I don't even play it for that. I basically just go get a car and ramp as much stuff as I can. That's basically what I do in Grand Theft Auto. Was talking about playing games. I would imagine your YouTube occupies most of your free time, just as the band takes up most of mine, aside from staying healthy slash taking care of the girl and all. Yeah, I don't hardly ever play. I can't remember the last time that I played. Actually, right after Red Dead Redemption came out, I bought that game and played through some of the. I didn't even make it through the whole story, but that's the last time that I've played an actual game. Do you write lyrics? I do sometimes. I also have friends like Below Average Hiker who helps. He's a very good lyricist. I mean, I'm a good writer, but I don't like fitting lyrics in to like the timing of a song and doing all that. That's not my forte, as they say. I'm real good at the music side of things and the vocals. Like if you just gave me a piece of paper and said write a song, I don't know that I could. But if I'm feeling something, like if I'm really feeling something, I could write down a song. Like the song that I always play in the live streams called "Live On." That song I wrote about my dad and the like alcohol, that sort of thing, and that whole experience. I wrote that song, and that was like that's why that song's like a really personal song to me. It's just like I was feeling that. I was angry. I wanted to get that out, and I just wrote it. Not a lot of the lyrics in there even rhyme or anything like that. It just came out. I love Forza games and mini games for the Need for Speed series. I used to play Need for Speed back on like the regular PlayStation, like the first PlayStation back in the day. I haven't really played much of the Forza games though. I think whenever I very first got my Xbox One, it had like a demo version of Forza that came with it, and that was fun. I just don't like I I never really understood growing up whenever people say they didn't have time for things. And I think a lot of people who said that did actually have time, but I I don't have time to play games. Like especially like through the week and stuff like that. Like I get up at 5:30 in the morning and go to work. I work until 5 o'clock at night. I come home. I record a video, upload it if I do that day. That takes me to 9 or 10 o'clock at night. And what else do I have to do? I eat, take a shower, go to bed. But lately I've been trying to like prioritize time and get things done. I also have a business, a photo and video business that I do. So that also takes up time. I edit photos, go take photos, do photo shoots, stuff like that. Editing all that stuff. There's a couple people that pay me to edit their YouTube videos for them, so I gotta edit those and get them done. Hello, thanks for joining. What do you think about the new Periphery album? I've only heard the songs that I did. I think I did 2 videos for. Those are the only songs so far that I've heard. I think I'm probably going to do one more. I'll probably do one more reaction review video, and then after that, I'll probably listen to the whole album. It would be nice if there were more hours in a day. Yes. It would also be nice if I didn't have the job where I didn't want to work, where I spend the most amount of my time making money for other people. That would also be nice, which hopefully one of these days, this, making music, being creative, making videos, all that stuff, my side business, doing that as well as doing this, content creation and being entertaining. I'm hoping that one day that'll take it all over. What do you do if you ever appear to reach your peak in something to progress further? That's a good question. I feel like I'm sure you've heard me talk about being into psychology before. Like I studied psychology in high school and college. I was actually going to be a psychologist, but then I realized you got to do like 8 years of college to be a clinical psychologist, and I was like, fuck that. So I do all that. Like I learned psychology and stuff like that. That's something I'm into a lot, and one of the things with that is like mental blockages and mental preparedness and like getting your mentality basically correct. And I think that is 100% of reaching a peak in things. Like you can always progress. You might slow down, just like I'll give you an example for weightlifting. Say you want to get better. Someone asked earlier about uh my my suggestions for heavy squats, like how to get heavier squats in here. And a lot of that has to do with time. Like it whenever you first start lifting weights, you're not you're not going to be as good if someone someone who's lifted weights for like 10 years. You're not going to be as strong, you're not going to be as comfortable in the gym, you're not going to know the movements as well. But then you're going to make strength gains way faster, way sooner than the person who's been lifting weights for 10 years because their body's already adjusted to it and they've already lifted, say, squatting 400 pounds and you're only squatting 135 over here, but your leaps strength wise are going to be this big as theirs are going to be like this big because they've been doing it for a longer time. But if you're at that level, say you've been doing it for 10 years, you're still, it's called progressive overload. You're going to be making little incremental steps forward. Uh, some ways to do that. What? Give me a. Let me know what you're talking about specifically, because I could go in a million different directions with that, but I would like to help what you're talking about specifically. I'm getting in trouble with my mental state regarding the situation with the band when it comes to increasing my vocal ability mainly. Are you are you feeling like are the like pressure from the band to increase your vocal range, or is it self? I feel like I won't get any better, and I'm afraid my good won't be good enough forever. Well, like vocals, for instance, I'm not the best vocalist in the world. I don't try to be, but for someone who mainly does vocals like you do, if you've been doing it for probably years, so you have your level of what you can do or what you think you can't do. Um, I would suggest looking into other, which I mean you probably have, but learning other sorts of vocals, like uh, people doing similar things to you but doing it in a different way. See if you can learn a different technique, a different uh, like a different way to do things. Some people, some people like the people that can't do things can, like you can. Not everybody. You gotta understand too. There 100% is, and this is where it gets kind of. I'm gonna basically contradict what I just said. You can do better. Everyone can do better, but there is a physical limit to what some people can do. If you're 5'2" as a male, you're probably not going to be a NBA All-Star, which is basketball, by the way, for anyone that doesn't know. You're just not. Like, there is an actual physical limit to what certain people can do. But a lot of people get in their own head and stop themselves short of their actual potential. And there's always like, look at vocalists who've been doing it forever. Say like Randy Blythe, for instance. They're doing different stuff. Like he's trying different things. He has his sound, but he's trying different things. He's adding in little elements. He's learning a little bit of clean singing. That shocked the hell out of me that he did that. But like introducing a little bit of clean singing, or at least learning that side of things. Even if you're not going to incorporate clean singing, learning more about clean singing and like what happens in the throat to be able to produce those sounds, and lots of that stuff. Like increasing vocal range, like practicing, uh, get a keyboard or a guitar and practice your actual vocal range, doing lower, and higher, and that sort of thing. There's a lot of people that teach that stuff for free on YouTube. Um, but as far as the mentality behind it, you gotta, in my opinion, like, okay, a lot of people in my everyday life, a lot of people, they look at me as being conceited, which isn't the case. But I do think, and I think that is important to have enough self confidence in yourself that you think you're good. Like you think you are doing the best. Not that I am better than anybody else, because I'm not. I'm me. But I'm constantly trying to improve me. And if I'm always trying to improve me, and myself is the only thing that I hold accountable for that, then nothing else in my life, no one telling me that I can't do something or anything else affects me, because I know I can. If I want to, I can. Like don't compare yourself to everybody else. Don't try to like do the best that you possibly can, and try your best to improve on it. As far as like specifics, improving vocal range and stuff like that, I would have to probably look up uh, different different things to show you that, because I'm not a vocal expert by any means. Like vocals are 100% my my least experience thing, but like as far as your mental state and all that stuff, I could go on. I could talk about this stuff for hours. Like this is what I really like. I really like that sort of thing. Just don't, any sort of self-deprecating thing is going to, even if the people that do self-deprecating humor and stuff like that, that means putting yourself down. uh don't. Even if you're joking about it, there is an underlying reason why those people are making jokes about themselves. Maybe they're insecure about something. You just gotta, you believe in yourself. Like this is one of the quotes that I made up that I really like, and I actually put it in one of our songs. It's the very beginning of a song, and I think this is probably going to eventually be some of the shirts and stuff that I make, as far as like from my merchandise. It's the two words were believe, become, and that's the very first of the song. And then but the full phrase would be believe in yourself, become something great. Like that's how I live my life. Like that's from my brain. Like believe in yourself. I believe in myself more than I believe in anything, any person, any anything at all. I posted this actually to my Instagram story yesterday. There's a guy that I look up to. He's a younger than I am, and he's a multimillionaire. Made a lot of businesses and stuff. He was talking about quit freaking kids. Um, he was talking about businesses and like how he's been so successful from such a young age. And if you're on my Instagram and watch the stories, you would have seen this. He said, no matter what happens, no matter anything going on outside, if I had to put all of my money on one thing to make everything successful, it would be myself. I know that even if everything was taken down, everything that I have already was taken away, I've built it to this point so I could do it again. It might take longer, it might take certain different strategies now from what it took then, but like no matter what, I believe in myself more than anything else. And that's how I live my life. Like I'm not the best guitarist ever. I'm good. I like what I do the best. That's why I do it. Just like the way that I look at any other thing is I obviously think that that's the best in my opinion, and that's why I do it. That's why a lot of people have told me in my personal life that sometimes I come off conceited just because if someone says anything, I say I can do it because I can. If I want to do something, I can do it. If I don't want to do it, then I don't. But, you know, making priority for certain things is a must. If you want to get better at something, you need to put in more time, more effort. You need to dedicate yourself to that. You need to like take care of your body. You need to take care of your mind. That's why I like psychology so much. Is like anything comes up in my life, I like to be the person that knows why I'm feeling the way I am and how to switch it. I like to be in control of my own head and not let other people dictate what I think of myself or anything else. And that's why I these reaction videos and stuff like that. I'm completely unbiased. Like I don't give a shit. If I love this band and they put out a shitty song, it makes no difference to me. If that makes sense. I probably went on a complete different road than what you were even wanting, but everything for me comes back to someone's mindset about things. Weight loss. People can't lose weight. Yeah, you can. You eat in a deficit and increase your activity. There's literally no way to not lose weight if you're doing that. Like your body will burn more than you're intaking and you will lose weight. That is it's a 100% fact. There are certain things, certain physical ailments, certain things that will slow that down. But if you have the means to get on the internet and complain that you can't lose weight, then you can lose weight. I guess is what I'm getting at. And that whole mindset is across the board what holds everything back. Everybody back with a lot of different things. I don't even know how long I just talked. Trying to look through the comments. That's one thing I would like to eventually get to the place and like diversify the content on this channel and stuff a little bit, and get to a place where I can actually help. Like I have enough people paying attention to what I'm saying to actually help some people in that area, because that's like my expertise. Mindset, like everything. I would say 99.9% of everything comes back to someone's mindset about something. If you have things from your childhood that you've tried to bury in your head, it's eventually going to come out at like it's probably going to be a negative side effect too. Like that's why psychologists, whenever you go in, you'll talk to them. They'll ask you about your past experiences. They'll ask you about what's going on in your life now, your personal life, what's happened to you physically, what's happened to you mentally, parents in your life, out of your life, all that stuff. People people underestimate. I say this a lot. People underestimate the amount of things that our brain has to process, and when you have some unfortunate things that happen in your life, it can really jack you up if you don't deal with it in a healthy way. And even if you do, like I'll be honest, whenever my grandma had cancer, she passed away. That was right at the time where my dad was like at the height of absurdity with his drinking, crashed my truck into a tree going like 70 miles an hour. My grandma had just passed away from cancer. Watching her for a year like wither away with brain cancer, like she didn't even recognize who her own family was anymore. And I was 19 years old, I think, at that point. All that stuff, all that happening at once, like I had like no friends. I had no one that I really thought I could turn to for anything, and that fucked me up real bad. And for like a year and a half, I I just like wasn't myself. I wasn't the who I wanted to be and all that. So like I made the conscious decision then to change who I was and what I was doing and who I was surrounding myself with, and like my mental everything in my own head. That's around the time whenever I made up the whole Alone Above Earth thing, and I've kind of went into that a little bit before. That's why this name is this name, because that's how I felt at that time. I just felt alone. I was by myself. I was in a relationship. The relationship was horrible. We brought out the 100% worst in each other. Uh, my dad drinking, crashing into a tree, almost killed him. My grandma had just died from cancer. Like I was at a bad I was at a bad spot. But like even if you're a good person, you're gonna go through bad shit in your life. And like life's not always gonna be rainbows and butterflies. But how you deal with that has a very big outcome for the end. Like you can come out of the shittiest situations and be on top and have control of what's going on in your head, and like you just have to be strong enough. And there are certain cases where you might need external help to do that. And that's completely fine. There's no shame in and asking for help or talking to people or talking to a psychologist, talking like if your if your brain's not making certain chemicals it should, then getting the correct medicine and the correct dosage to help with that. There's no shame in that. Like I thankfully haven't had that personally to me. I've always been able to regain regain control of what's going on upstairs in the old brain noggin and handle it. I have a fifth grader understanding of math, science, etc. 37 have taught myself to work around it. Yeah, you can. I mean, you can always learn more. Like you're like actively engaged in a lot of different things, so you're picking up different things from different places. I probably have. I'm horrible at those. I really like science. Science is one of my main things. Like I'm really into that. Science and that kind of goes hand in hand with the whole psychology thing. Why things do what they do, or figuring out why that is. Psychology is basically just the human version of that. Why am I doing or feeling the way I am? And how could I change it to what I want it to be in the end? And it is possible. It is possible to change your mindset. People probably aren't here, though, for a free psychology lesson. What's everyone up to today? Hopefully, watching my new video for One More Light, the cover of One More Light by Linkin Park that I put up earlier. People are commenting on that video. I was tested for a learning disability in my final year of elementary, so from junior high till I graduated, I was in special needs classes. Sometimes, especially like you're a little bit older than I am, and I know some schools back then, they used to get special funding as well for the amount of people that they had in special needs classes. And some of the people that were in the special needs classes didn't need the special needs. Like, if you need, like, there's no, you will never hear me judge someone for anything like that. Like if you have a learning disability, you have a learning disability. That's completely fine. But like I don't think I'm any better than you for that, or that you're any less than anybody else for that. And that's where like whenever I was in school, I was one of the more popular kids in school, I would say. I was really athletic, and a lot of people, I think, looked up to me in that regard. But I was friends with everybody. Like, I didn't, I didn't hold myself higher than anybody else just because I was a little bit better at certain things or they were a little bit worse at certain things. That doesn't matter to me. You're a person, you're a human, you're kind, you're nice to everybody else, and you set that example. And that's the example that I try to be. That's why I like try to respond to everyone in the comments and like make people feel like they're actually something. I think that like learning disability or not learning disability, the way you make yourself and others feel says way more about you than what kind of math you can do. I can't do math for shit. Yeah, I was about ready to throw in the towel. I just didn't care what happened to me and I was ready to die for the longest time. Now I have a beautiful family and I have goals and ambition again. Like I feel like I did whenever I was in my youth. I can do anything I want. That's awesome. I'm really, really glad to hear that. If you ever need, like, if any of you guys ever need to talk to me or you need someone to talk to, send me a message. Like, no, I can't sit for hours and hours and just talk nonsense with everybody. But you people that are in here supporting me all the time, I'm here. Like, I know a lot about this sort of thing. If you ever need, even if you just need to say something, shoot me a message. I'm all about helping people feel better. John Huff dropping in to say hello. Been on mandatory overtime. Work sucks. Being broke's worse. I agree. Work does suck. Great conversation. This format of communication is great. I like talking, if that isn't apparent, especially with people who are supportive and awesome. Dominique is back. I've done my own research into what causes my learning disability. It comes from having yeah, there are cases where the like literal physical limits to things, like I was talking about earlier. It is a thing, and that's completely fine. Like you said, you're 37, I think you said earlier, and you're finding ways to better yourself and work around it. Like health problems are one thing. People neglecting to be a productive member of society or to themselves is a whole nother thing. That's actual physical limitations is not what I'm talking about. Seeing like for me, seeing people like, people that don't have legs, for instance, like that's a complete different whole thing, but like that motivates me in the times where I feel like say going to the gym. Like there's some days where I don't want to go to the gym, especially after working and all this other stuff, but there are people who would kill for the ability to get outside and go run. There are people that would like completely like give up anything to be able to go to the gym and lift weights or to be able to walk or to be able to do anything. So there's no excuse for me. That's just something that motivates me in any time where I feel like, oh, I want to be lazy for a minute. Like I don't like to feel that way. I still get depressed a lot, but I also know that I'm the only one that controls my life. I'm the only one who can change me. I agree with that. You are in charge of your self. But like someone else just said up here, how you view yourself has a lot to do with what you've went through in your whole life, what the situations you've been in, parenting, uh, all that stuff. Like that has a great effect on what you view yourself as, and also like the ability to make that change and stuff. You may not think that there's a whole world out there for you to see if you're kept in a cage inside of a house, you know? That whole age-old metaphor of being held back like physically, or, I guess not physically, whatever. Yeah. You know what I'm trying to say. Metaphorically held back. I enjoyed your cover on my drive to work. Good stuff. Thank you. Thanks for checking it out. I'm really, really, really happy that how that came out. Now I feel like I killed the mood for everyone with my entry question. Self improvement is an awesome mood to be in, man. John Huff, $20 super chat. You over there working all that damn overtime, and you're giving your money away. I appreciate it a lot, man. You're always supporting being here, and also always supporting monetarily. So that means a whole lot to me. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for all you do. Always appreciate the honesty and community. That's one thing I really like here. We have like a core group community feel. There's a lot of you people that are in here right now are always here, and that means a lot to me. Something my wife always tells me is you gotta love yourself regardless of others' opinions. That is 100% true. It's kind of what I was talking about earlier. Like, myself. I bank on myself. I trust myself. I love myself. Some people just don't, and it's sad. Like you got to get to a place where you love yourself. As cliche as that is to say, it's the truth. If you get into a place where you like yourself, you genuinely like what you are as a person and a human, then nothing that anybody else says can affect you. And that's a very powerful place to be as a person. I've been in a nasty depression for 6 years. 6 years going to college to prove to my parents that I can have a diploma, but there was nothing interesting for me to have a degree into. Yeah, that's not. I always hate to hear stuff like that whenever people are basically forced to go to college and put themselves in all this debt for something they don't even want, just to impress or live up to the expectation of someone else, whether that's your parent or not. Like, I decided a long time ago I was going to live my life for me. Like, if I'm, like, yes, I have to work at a job that I don't like right now to support my family, but I'm actively trying to improve my life. I'm actively trying to, build this, build a community of people, get better at my music, get better mentally and physically. Just, you always got to come back to yourself. Like, what makes you happy? What do you want to do? What do you want to be? Hello from Finland. Hello from the United States. I always thought if you can't love yourself, how can anyone else? That's 100%. That's why the divorce rate is what, like almost 80% these days in the United States, anyways. People don't love themselves. So jumping into a relationship with someone else who might, but probably doesn't either, you're gonna have conflict. You're gonna have a lot of stuff that not even normal relationships who like it's very rare to find people who actually really can I can sit in this room by myself forever. I'm completely fine. Like, yes, I love my family and all that. That's not what I'm trying to say by this, but like I'm comfortable being by myself. I'm comfortable with my own thoughts. I'm comfortable with my brain space and where I'm at. And I wish and I hope to help people, uh, anybody, get to that point as well because it's very like that's the most rewarding thing in my whole life has been me sitting down with myself and making a conscious change to be what I wanted to be. And I think a lot of people don't do that. They're uncomfortable with themselves and I don't know. I just hope at some point I can help people, anybody, be a little bit more comfortable or be more themselves instead of trying to be someone else for someone else. After all that time, I decided I need to do for myself and enrolled in a railroad company, and now I'm a train conductor. That's a sweet ass job. A railroad conductor? Dream job that doesn't require higher education, but it's rewarding. I know working on the railroad, I don't know how it is anywhere else, but in the United States here, that's very lucrative as well as far as money. Uh, Not all jobs require higher education. Very, very few jobs actually require a higher education college degree sort of thing. And if you're not into that, then I would highly suggest not doing it. Not putting like people always talk about that's another thing that Christian said in the interview the other day I was watching. A lot of people talk about safety nets and you need to have a backup plan. College is always there. Like you can always go back to college. They will always take your money. There's not going to be a point where they say, "No, please don't pay me thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars." That's never going to be a case. That is a backup plan. Like safety net. You don't have to go to college as soon as you graduate. Like you don't. You don't have to. You can always go back to school. You can always do that. So hearing that you found a job like that, that's very, very good for you. I really, really like hearing that. And I'm glad you actually like turned it around and found something you want to do and got into that. For one, that sounds like a badass job. Being a train conductor? Who doesn't want to be a train conductor? Alex, $30, 30 Canadian dollars, which is apparently 24 US dollars super chat. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate that, and I appreciate you being here, and I appreciate hearing your story of like actually going after what you wanted, and I'm really, really glad to hear that for you. I'd love to be by myself more, to be honest. I really, really get to. Some people have that problem too. I have no other choice. I'm in this room about 90% of the time that I'm at my house. Which is why after this stream, I'm going to go outside with the kids. It's nice outside. It's actually sunny for once. So we're going to go for a walk, go for a bike ride. Just got the kids' new bike and all that. Change up some scenery and all that. Danielle's in here. Thank you for joining. I was really glad to hear, by the way, that you liked the One More Light cover. It's been received very well. There's almost entirely, I think, entirely positive comments on it so far. So I'm glad people are actually checking it out and that people are actually really liking it. I'm very... You hear this? This is what my life consists of. One kid screams and the other two kids scream to match him. And then the dogs start barking. And then, man, kids, have more. Been by myself for the past 12 years. A few girlfriends here and there, and my daughter mostly on the weekends. But it's nice to be able to do what I want when I want. It's just do nothing when I want. Sometimes, like, I want to get to a point. I've never taken a vacation in my life. Like, I've never, ever been on a vacation. I think I talked about this one time in a different stream a long time ago. I've never been away. Like, just stop and just go somewhere where it's actually nice, the weather's good, you're somewhere where you want to be. I've never done it. I've never had the opportunity to do it. Even as a kid, my parents never could. We could never afford that. So I really look forward to the day where I'm able to just be like, I would like to go for a couple days and just not do anything. Go to a beach somewhere or go somewhere and just get away for a couple days. I think that being able to do that, like that's one of my end goals, is to make it to a point where I'm not tied down to a factory job for one. That's the first goal. To be able to work for myself and sustain my family and make a decent living for ourselves. And then on top of that, be able to go afford for one and be able to have the time to just declutter the old brain space for a couple days. I really like your content. I'm glad I subscribed. I'm glad you subscribed too, and I really like hearing that. Did a great job on it, dude. Love the camera work. Awesome shots. Awesome shots. Your homeboy did a fantastic job on the vocals. He really did. The only thing that I would have changed about that video, or like the video part actually, is that we shot it in this room with like 3 foot of space. So that's why if you guys watch my videos, you know I talk about switching up things and switching up the camera work and doing things from different focal lengths and stuff like that. That is the only thing that I wish could have been better, really, about that in my head, as far as what I would have wanted. But I mean, I didn't really have the option. So I tried to switch up the camera work from super close up to mid-range shots, which is the farthest that I could get. I tried to do switch ups and movement and stuff like that. I used the old gimbal, and we shot that video right here, like right here. This little section right here. Bam. This is the amount of space I had to work with right here. So, just like with everything else that I talk about, doesn't take a lot. Doesn't take a lot to shoot a video that looks cool and make something that looks like a legitimate music video. But you gotta work with what you got and make it look as good as you possibly can and go on. I could tell you got up and personal with your bud. Yeah. I've known him for years and years, so that was. I even told him whenever I have. I'm gonna do like a follow up video to that song and release like the vlog sort of thing that I shot behind the scenes while we were recording it and like while we were over like filming it and stuff like that. And I said to him at one point, like it was for some of the slow-mo shots. I said, I'm gonna get right up in your grill. And I was like this far away from his eye for some of those little side angle of his eye shots. And I was like, I promise this is gonna be real weird, but it's gonna look real cool. He was in here earlier. He popped in for a few minutes. I actually, by the way, I know I've talked about before, I haven't really ever said anything to any of my friends or family, only a couple, that I even have this YouTube channel or that like I have an actual good community built up now. We're almost at 7,000 subscribers on the channel, which is fucking crazy for one, but like I just haven't told anybody because not a whole bunch of people in my personal life really care too much about music or like certain things like that. So I actually posted on my personal Facebook earlier that I had this YouTube channel and I posted a link to that video and I haven't checked to see what anybody said yet. I don't know if anyone's even said anything or nope. That shows you the kind of support. I have a couple family members and stuff that support what I do. But other than that, not really anything from around here. That's why I appreciate all of you guys so much. Like I don't get support from like my extended family and stuff like that. Like my post, I made it right after I posted that video this morning, and it has 5 likes, and no one even commented on it or probably even watched it. I know my mom did. My mom actually commented on the video. Yeah, my family started to support me in my musical dreams when the band started taking off. Yeah, I feel like that's what it kind of takes. Sadly, well, F them, we got you. Before it was always don't waste your time on stuff like that. Yeah, I've got like my cousin that if you watch my Q&A videos, which you should have because they were good, but I someone asked me about who introduced me to metal and stuff like that, and it was my cousin, older cousin. He played guitar, and I always thought it was like the coolest thing ever, and he could just pick up and play whatever he wanted on the guitar, and I wanted that. So he's the one who got me into playing music. And the other night he was messaging me about something, and he's always supported me with everything. He was ever since I was little. I started playing guitar when I was 8 years old, and he would sit with me and show me stuff, and he would show me different chords, and he would do like little solos over the top of that, and I thought that was like the coolest shit in the world because I was just little kid playing guitar and got to play the rhythm for him playing solos over the top and stuff. So the other night he's always supported me, and I he was messaging me about something, and I told him like I got a little sappy with him, and I said, like, thank you for always supporting me. I don't have that much support from anyone around here, and you were the inspiration for me picking up a guitar in the first place. You've always told me like no matter how much time I have to work and stuff like that, then like make time to play guitar and stick with it because you're good and you need to do this. And so I basically just told him like thank you for that. Thank you for showing me the stuff as a kid. It made a huge impression on me then, and it has ever since. And he, like I said, it meant a lot for him to hear that from me as well. By the way, only 19 more subs to 7,000. Nice. It's 18 now, by the way. 6,982 at the moment. My family is the best. I've been very blessed with a great family. My parents support my wife and I 100%. Not money wise, but that we always work as hard as possible and make it on our own. Nice. That's really cool to hear. I my well, my mom has always been very supportive. My dad, whenever he wasn't drinking, is like I've went into this several times, so I'm not going to go into the whole backstory, but like uh, my dad is like the best dude in the world whenever he's not drinking. That's pretty much how that goes with alcoholics, it seems. So um, he's always been very supportive as well of me playing guitar and thought it was really cool. And but my parents are a little older, like compared to my age. Like I was born when my dad was almost 41, and so like my parents have always been a little bit older compared to me. So they like whenever I was learning guitar, I learned on acoustic and I would play like chord based stuff. And I think I said this before about learning uh what's the song called by John Denver? Country Roads Take Me Home or whatever that song is actually titled. My mom thought that was like the coolest thing in the world whenever I was little. I was like 8 or 9 years old, learning how to play chords and stuff like that. And she thought that was like the coolest thing in the world that she had a son that could play that on guitar. And I recently I went back and relearned that song and took a video of me singing it and playing it on guitar and sent it to her, and she thought it was really cool. So like I do have support. Like I have but it's very, very, very small. Man, that's beautiful. You're such a good dude. It's just called being grateful, and not very many people are grateful these days for what they actually have, which is sad. I'm like, I'm legitimately thankful for all of you guys. Like, that's why I say it all the time. Like, I'm anybody who takes the time out of their day to click on my video and watch it, or comment, or hang out in the live streams, ask me questions. You like it really, really actually does mean a lot to me. Like, you guys see me. Like, this is who I am. I'm a good person, or I try my very best to be, because that's the example that I want to put out into the world. I want to show my kids that you can actually make something of yourself by being a good, honest person. You don't have to try to cheat people out of money. You don't have to try to like do sketchy shit behind people's backs to make it somewhere. And I hope that one day I can look back and show my kids and be like, look at what I've done. Now let's enjoy some time where I can not have to go to a factory, and we can, you know, have family time. And because we don't get much family time, be honest with you. Anytime I can get with my kids, I try to get it. They're running around playing right now, and then we're gonna go outside, enjoy the nice weather. I told my buddy Michael Lawler about you. He's in the band Vice Versa, and he does covers on his channel. He said he really digs your content, and I'm going to try to get him in here one of these days. Nice. What kind of covers does he do? I think you said something about him before. I want you to get huge, but at the same time, I don't, because then it'll be harder to hang out. But you deserve all the success possible. It it's not going to be harder to hang out. I'm gonna continue doing the same thing that I've been doing. You guys have been here. A lot of you guys, especially the ones in here right now, have been here since the very beginning, basically. Always supporting, always talking, and that's very much appreciated. It hasn't changed. I've got 7,000 subscribers in the last 5 months. It hasn't changed. I don't plan on it changing, because I'm staying the same. So, and I mean, the comments might get a little bit harder for me to read if there's 1,000 people in here versus 10 or 20, but nothing's changing here. Not with me. You deserve everything, man. There needs to be more people like you, and I know your kids are proud of you. I think, well, I mean, my kids are little. They don't know exactly what's going on, or the scope of what I'm trying to do. But one day they will, and one day that's like my driving force, basically, for my kids. I want my kids to be able to brag about me, basically. Like, not in like a better than you sort of way, but like in a, my kids are actually proud enough of their dad and not embarrassed of, like a lot of kids are, that I've worked so hard to push myself in a direction where, like, around here there's no one doing this. Like, my friend Jesse, he's the only person that I really know that's even trying to do something bigger. Which is why, another reason why, on top of just being a complete good guy, Jesse is I think me and him are like real good friends because like he's just a good dude and he's trying to do something more than just live and become something better or bigger and not do it in a deceitful way or like any sort of things. He does all kinds of covers of recently a few Parkway Drive covers and Bring Me the Horizon, much more. Nice. He has a North Lane cover that will just break your heart, like the that was one of the only songs. I'll have to check it out. I don't know that I've ever seen any of his videos. I'm surprised that with 7,000 subs that you don't have a lot of trolls and haters, but if you did, we would seek them out and beat their asses. I don't really like anybody that trolls on my YouTube channel. They don't really they don't really get what they want. So I don't think they stick around. I'm not one to get all riled up about things. I just say something that makes sense back to them and that usually shuts them down. Trolls just try to get people angry for no reason. So they don't get me angry. I don't give a shit. If they're spending time out of their day to try to bring someone else down, even if it's a joke, then they're obviously got much more time on their hands than I do. Another quote that I really like that I heard the other day was you'll never see I can't remember exactly how it was, but basically it's you'll never see someone more successful than you commenting on your videos in a hateful way. Like people that are actually trying to better themselves and actually trying to be successful and good people will never take the time out of their day to try to tear someone else down. And I 100% agree with that. Hello, Josh's wife. Oh, don't worry, the trolls come eventually. I watched it happen to a few people. The more you grow, the more people do that. But yeah, best to just ignore them. I don't ignore them. I comment back just like every other, most of them. But uh, yeah, I just like respond with actual logic, and most of them just don't know what to say because they're just trying to be ignorant. Some of them I have just ignored because like I didn't even have time to mess with it, but I love above average hikers. His his YouTube channel is called Below Average Hiker. That's kind of the funny thing, like the funny name with his channel. They have the same feel of that old show Survivor Man where he films everything by himself while he survives. I actually edit all of Jesse's videos, so that's sort of the feel that I edit into his videos is like he's alone out in the woods and because I mean he is. but I actually edit all of Jesse's videos. So the feel of the video is kind of what I put into the video. His personality and I've kind of showed him how to get different angles like the walkthrough shots and stuff like that to make the video a little bit more visually appealing. And he bought that new camera, which is really good. It's got a stabilizer on it and it's much better image quality, so you can actually see what he's seeing and see what's going on. But yeah, that's sort of the feeling. I will also, by the way, for any of you who actually watch Jesse's channel, which if you don't, you should, if you are into that sort of thing or just want to help support another really good, genuine person. His channel is called Below Average Hiker, and I will be doing some stuff with him on that channel as well. I'll go out and hike with him, and I'll film probably like a vlog on my channel about it, and I'll be in his video as well. So we're going to do that pretty soon, now that it's starting to actually warm up. That quote is very true. If you're not miserable, you have no reason to be hateful towards others. Yep. Even though you respond to them with something logic, they will reply, well, you're a mom. No. Well, the couple that I've had little things with, I went to their page. Like, this one guy said that I was stupid and that I didn't know what I was talking about, and the content was just not enjoyable or something. So I clicked on that dude's profile or YouTube, and on his YouTube channel, all of his most recently liked videos were of girls in bikinis, like real skimpy bikinis, and that was all of his most recently liked videos. So all I did was comment back, and I said, sorry that you didn't like the video. Maybe next time I'll wear a skimpy bikini like all of your most recently liked videos, and maybe you'll enjoy the content a little better. And he never responded. So that's basically what I do. Like, what was he going to say to that? My content's not good enough, but you're watching a bunch of mostly naked girls on the internet. Sorry. You're a legit good person. You've consistently or constantly taken time to interact with me. You don't even have to. You're just a genuine good person. I'm glad that you see that. I pretty much interact with everybody. Is if I can, I do. There's like sometimes if someone sends me a message or something, I just don't have time right then to do it, or I'm working and or trying to spend time with the family. If I'm in the middle of something, I don't respond. But like YouTube comments and stuff, if I can't get to them, then I have an app on my phone, and I get notifications whenever people are actually commenting on the YouTube videos and stuff. Sometimes I just turn that off so that I'm not getting notifications every 15 seconds. But like I want to, whenever people, like, whenever I was talking to my fiance about this, whenever I very first started doing this, and I actually like started actually having humans, like actual real people, like you guys, commenting on my videos, and I just spent like hours replying to every single one of them as soon as they came in, and she was saying like, you don't have to do that, like no one comments back to all the comments and stuff, and I was like, that's kind of why I'm doing it. No one takes the time out to do this. No one like actually gives a shit what people are saying on their videos. They might see the comments, and I'm sure at some point I'm going to get to a spot where I can't comment on all of the stuff, but right now I can. So why should I not take advantage of that? I'm just like that. I always respond to anyone reaching out to our band pages on any platform, but I must say it's gotten hard to keep up. That's good. That like that to me. That's a good problem to have. It's almost like when you're like, say you're selling merchandise or selling something, and people are buying so much of it that it's getting hard to keep up with That's a good problem to have. Like people commenting and taking the time not only to watch the video but to also comment on the video. And like I've at first I was pretty much coming back to every single thing that came in, but the people that just comment, like I was talking about earlier in here, the people that comment on everything, like before they even had enough time to watch the video, they're commenting and just they don't say anything. They just suggest the song. I hate that. It's annoying. It's annoying. Like if you're gonna talk, then talk. If you're gonna comment, then make a comment. And I have nothing against people suggesting songs or anything like that. But if that's all you're gonna do ever, and it's just you copying and pasting a list of songs into the comments 5 seconds after I posted a video, then just don't do it. Those are the people that I don't even respond to, or I don't like. There's no point. They're not there to comment. They're there to try to get you to do something. Christopher, caught your video this morning. Awesome. Thank you. Glad you liked it. I'm very, very proud of that. If you guys haven't, I don't know, in here, there's only a couple people commenting, but it shows there's more people. If you guys haven't yet, I would really, really appreciate it if you would check out the video I put up this morning. Me and my good friend Jesse, who's Below Average Hiker on YouTube here, we did an acoustic cover of One More Light by Linkin Park. He did all the vocals, all the harmonies, all that stuff. That's all him. And I did all the music. And I recorded all of it. So I put up a video. We filmed a video for it. Shot it here in this room. Made it look as cinematic as possible with the limited space we had. But if you haven't checked it out, I would really appreciate if you would check it out. I'm very, very proud of the way that video turned out, and the video and the actual music itself. I changed a couple little tiny things about the song, added a couple little nuances that weren't there in the original song, and it's going to be, I think that video, if we can get it to be shared out, which it's another thing I would ask, is if you have the time or a couple seconds to share it on Facebook if you have Facebook, or maybe post something about it, or share a link to anybody. Just try to get more people to see it, because that sort of content there's not as many people searching that content, especially since that's a little bit older of a song now as far as music searching goes on YouTube. Try to get more people to see it, and I would appreciate that a lot. And let me know what you think of the song as well. Everyone so far has liked it. I've got nothing but positive comments about it, and I even if there wasn't positive comments about it, I'm really proud of it. So, which of the Star Wars movies is your favorite? I would say, I don't know. I don't really have a favorite. The Phantom Menace was that was the first one I saw. That's the first movie that I watched in the theater whenever I was a little kid. My dad took me and my brothers to go watch The Phantom Menace whenever it came out. And so that's a really fond memory for me. And well, for one, I can't remember how old I was, probably 4 or 5. So going to the movie theater for the first time, seeing Star Wars and Darth Maul pull his little hood off with his spikes on his head, all that, lightsabers, all that stuff. So that movie to me has, and having a good time with my dad as well. Whenever I was little, that movie holds like a sentimental value to me. I think as far as just good all around, I would probably say uh, The Force Awakens. I know got a lot of shit for being like copying what they had done previously, but I think that movie was all around probably the best visuals, like up to date visuals. The storyline was pretty good, and like what they could do off of that movie would probably be the all around best for me. But the best looking to me is The Last Jedi. I'm not a hater on The Last Jedi. That's probably my top personal top, just because I'm into cinematography and making things look cool. So that movie was, I think, the best looking Star Wars movie ever so far. Slipknot next. Yes, Snuff by Slipknot will be the next cover. We've already got it recorded. I just have to finish mixing it, and then I've got to shoot my part of the video for it, and it will be up. Probably do like 2 weeks or so. I just checked that out and it was amazing. Thank you. Snuff. Yes, Snuff. Chaotic Old Boar's in here. Thanks for joining. I'm glad you're not wearing your Last Jedi shirt. I had that on, I think, yesterday. I wear that shirt a lot. Definitely shared that. Thank you. Thank you. My stream is quite behind. Been buffering like a dented up vehicle. That's funny. Dominic's band is Cypcore? Yes. Kyle Johnson's in here. Thanks for sharing it, Chris, by the way. That helps. It helps a lot more than you know. If you were to get anybody to watch that video, then that's more people than I would have got to watch it. So, and different people, I guess I should say. You know people that I don't know. So them checking out the channel. I know that's what I told Jesse whenever we were doing this. Like, I know if we can get people to click on the video, they're gonna like it. I'm pretty certain they're gonna like it because of the quality and the actual sound of it. I think we did a good job pulling that off. So just getting people to the video that's the hard part. That's where marketing comes in, and having people, you guys, to help get it out to people who wouldn't normally see it. And that's why you probably see me posting so much about it, because it's not a reaction video. It's not going to get thousands of views right off the bat because it's just not highly searched right now. Ever had an idea to make a metal memes review / reaction? There are some pretty good ones on Reddit. Probably won't dive into that sort of thing for a while, doing like reactions to different stuff like that until people actually start wanting me to do it a whole bunch. That's kind of how I feel about that anyways. There's some pretty funny things. I haven't been on Reddit for a while. I used to, at night, whenever I was laying down and go to sleep, I used to get on Reddit and just browse through, but I'm so damn tired these days, I just fall asleep normally before I even try to fall asleep. Chaotic Old Boar, by mixing it, you are selling yourself short by not saying you produce music on top of your other skills. Yeah, I'm a music producer technically. I recorded all of it. So technically I was the recording engineer, I was the artist, I was the musician, I was the producer, I was the cinematographer, I was the everything. I think that would listing off a bunch of things that I do is maybe a little bit too self-indulgent. So, but yes, everything about that I did. For anyone wondering, I I did all of it. How about that new Joker trailer? It looks like it might be really good. I haven't watched it. I'm doing stuff while listening. I'm lurking now. What was the question? Dominique. Yes. I can play some of Buckethead now, but practicing the track Animal Behavior. Nice. I haven't listened to Buckethead for a long time. And I didn't really listen to it very much back in the day whenever I did. Been trying to get our main man here to react to Fear Factory ever since Joshua got him to react to one of our tunes. If you want, Danielle, I actually did a reaction video to one of their band's songs. So if you want, I mean, since you're used to me and used to the way that I do things about around here, or check out their song. The one that I did was Dissatisfactory. I did a video talking about the band, and then that's how he's now here with us. I think, by the way, Dominique, I'm pretty sure one of the other dudes from your band commented on that video the other day. I think the picture looked like it, anyways. I don't remember the name. I don't remember who it was, but the picture looked like the stage setup you guys have, and he said something about thanks for checking it out, or something that sounded like he was from the band. Or like appreciate you checking it out or something like that. That's what I was talking about. Saw the name Sec 4 and thought the pick was cool. Yeah, that was earlier though. That's been several months ago. I was gonna do one of their other songs, but he told me to hold off because they may or may not be recording another or shooting another video. So I'm holding off. Now that I have this cover video up, that took a lot of time to edit. So now that I'm done doing that, maybe I'll get to Fear Factory. He's playing rhythm guitar. Jay Marsman is his name. Yep, that would be the name. I'm pretty sure. Fear Factory is one of the favorite bands from the 90s. Still listen to. Nice. Update on that. We did shoot the video, so now it's over to get cut and video effects. Nice. 2 videos coming out. Looking forward to it. Is it new music? Is it like videos to new songs, or is it 2 new videos for previous songs? Two videos. 2 videos, 2 tracks off the latest record. Going to be Dream Smasher and Reject the Stream. Nice. Yeah, the only song that I've heard is the one that I did the video on, but I like that a lot. The guitar, I think I said that in the video. The guitar work reminded me a lot of my own playing in a couple sections. It's hard to get a real good feeling of that though through just one song. Roads Untraveled is my favorite Linkin Park song of late. I don't know if I've heard that. The dog's going crazy. I think this is no. I was going to say I think this is the first stream where I haven't actually played my own music, but I think I did one before. Oh man, I'm tired right now. Did any of you have any questions for me about anything? Doesn't have to be music related. Can be music related, but doesn't have to be. What's your earliest inspiration in music? As far as being a musician, my cousin that showed me guitar and stuff was my earliest inspiration. My earliest, just in music in general, I've always really liked music. I've always been able to pick out little details in music, even whenever I was a little kid, like riding in my parents' car, they would be listening to like some like country-ish type music, and like say in the car speaker there's like a shaker, like a tambourine type shaker thing or whatever. I could always like pick out that or like the bass guitar, the bass line. I could always pick out like the individual instruments and what they were doing by themselves. Whereas a lot of people just hear the song. Like pretty much what I do now. Uh, that's probably my earliest inspiration was like being interested in what music was being played by what instrument and like how they were able to put all that stuff together. I used to watch like a lot of behind the scenes footage. That's why I really like that stuff so much. Is like the way that everything comes together and how someone goes from writing something to to like the final product that they deliver. Like the one I was talking about earlier, where Periphery released that. It's like 48 minutes, I think. It's like a little documentary behind their making of this album that they just released. And yeah, I just really like the process behind almost more than the end result. Like I like hearing music, obviously, but I like seeing people's process and like taking little things from that that I maybe like or incorporate in how I write things or how I go about doing it because everyone has like their own way. Every band is different. Yes?
It's been 3 hours.
No, it hasn't. 2 hours and 41 minutes. There's a running timer right here. Can't fool me. I'll be done soon. What do you think of the band Seether? Best band to come out of my country. I forgot actually that they were from, I think it's South Africa, isn't it? I always forget that they're from there, but they're good. They're one of my earliest, I would say, bands I got into, like Crossfade, whenever they first popped up, Seether, Breaking Benjamin, all those types of like all. I think in the last stream we were actually talking about all those, and I played through a lot of different songs and stuff like that. They were one of my like. I really liked them back in the day. They're still good now. I still listen to some of that music. I may have to do a cover of a Seether song. Do you play video games? Not really. I like to. I just don't ever have time to. I think the last one was that Red Dead Redemption 2, and I played through some of the storyline. I didn't even make it all the way through, and I just got busy with everything else. The song is. I hope this comes across in the right way, but you kind of give me Kill Switch Engage vibes. I played keyboard by ear as a kid. I wish I would have went forward with that. Yeah, piano is something I would like to be better at. I really really like the sound of piano and like piano and cello. If you know, if I've said this probably 100 times on here, but like the sound of a piano and cello playing together is one of my favorite things. And I wish that I had more time to be able to do that. But every time I go to like play something on a piano, I'm like, I can just play this way faster on guitar. So I just end up playing it on a guitar. Well, we got another person as a fan. Thanks for going to check that out, by the way, and supporting our other dude in here. He's good.
And Jesse's in there.
The dude that has that other band. We got one of the other people to go check him out, and she liked him too. Jesse wasn't here at the beginning. Gotta head out for this one. Have a great day. Thank you for being here. Glad we could have some other people check out your music as well. We'd love to, but it's kind of hard for an unsigned, self-made band from Germany to get to play shows in the U.S. I can see that. Just getting here would be a big obstacle. It sucks that I missed Jesse. Maybe next time. Yeah, he's normally in here. He's got I'm not gonna say what it is, but he's got some family things that they got to take care of this weekend. So he would have stayed for longer, but that's what he's doing. He wanted to pop in though because we released that song this morning. What are you doing?
Stretching?
I'm just over here talking, and she's just standing over here, stretching out her legs. What are you? You look like a frog.
I'm stretching. Gotta stretch out these innies.
What are you? Why are you in here stretching?
Because I've been singing for 3 hours.
It's 2 hours and 46 minutes, not 3 hours. Get it right. I think I'm going to go ahead, since everything's kind of at a lull right now, I'm going to go ahead and sign off of here. Seems like a couple people are leaving anyways. So, thank you guys for all the support, as normal. If you haven't yet, I've said this a couple times throughout the stream, but if you haven't yet, I would really appreciate if you go check out the cover song we released this morning. It's One More Light by Linkin Park. Me and Jesse did an acoustic cover of it. I'm very, very proud of the way that turned out. I really like the video we did. Everything about it I like a lot. So if you haven't, check it out. If you have 5 seconds, share it on some form of something and maybe get some other people who wouldn't have normally heard it otherwise to hear it and see it. We are currently 18 subscribers away to 7,000 subscribers. So hopefully we'll hit that today. That'll be a cool little milestone as well. And then I will start. I'll put out a video tomorrow, a normal video. So check all that stuff out. Yes, the stream will be up on the channel after Chris. I always leave these up in case anyone wants to go back and watch them. Danielle, thanks for hanging out.
Oh, she's in there?
Can't wait to hang again. Next Saturday will be the next live stream.
She's my nail person.
I believe. I don't think anything. No, yeah. Next Saturday.
We're running a 5.
Next Saturday, I'm running a 5K for the first time. So the stream will be later, a little bit later, like 8 or 9 p.m. So next week it'll be a little bit later. Anyways, like I'm rambling. I always do this at the end. Thanks for the support. Like I've said a million times already. Appreciate all you guys being here. I'll see you hopefully tomorrow in that video.